281, what's happening, man? We gonna do these draft grades, man. I be having to look at this sometime just to see. I don't be even knowing who what teams is who, man. The way I set this up, man, I just pick a division and I just run through it, man. And afterwards, I realize what player is with the team. So we gonna focus today on the NFC North and the AFC North. This video right here is gonna capture the NFC North. It's gonna be another video coming out after I wake up because I'm going to sleep right after this. And I'm going ahead and jump into the AFC North. So let's see what's going on with these draft grades, man. I ain't doing too much talking and too much making it more longer than what it is. I'm just going to jump right into these teams, right into their draft grades, how we feel, and see how they going to, see how they going to come out at the end of this season, man. All right, moving right along, man, and going in alphabetical order. So what we got out of the NFC North, man, we're going to start off with these Bears. The Bears, man, they draft, man, it was kind of iffy to me. We're going to talk about it, though. We always try to get on, like, some of their notable players. So some of their big notable players that they got, of course, is Aiden Hutchinson, man. Everybody know this guy is. X Factor, 92 power move, 92 finesse. I ain't even got to talk about this guy. He's one of their notable players. That was their first pick of the draft. They came out with the DN. A lot of guys come out with DNs. A lot of guys come out with that super fast wide receiver or their quarterback. That's normally the top guy, unless it's like a special cornerback or something out there. But other than that, so as y'all see, Aiden Hutchinson, he's one of their notable guys. Also, along with him, they got defensive tackle Jalen Carter, superstar, 25 years old, young. He gonna be able to run with this guy probably the whole release, pretty much. If he could keep him good and keep him up, he'll become an X factor and even be better. And then you also got another. You got your right end, Brian Barnes. Superstar. He's 28. He'll be there for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get a good 4 years out of him. He should be able to get a good 4 years out of this guy right here. Keep him at the superstar X Factor, man. He gonna run with you. So as y'all notice, with his notable guys, it looked like the Bears pretty much went straight to the defense, went straight to the D-line. They was like, we stopping everything that's, anybody trying to do by getting to the quarterback first. All right, so if that's what he was going for, that's what he's going for. Let's see his team. Let's see who he's running with. So looking at his offense, let's start with that first. It looks like he's gonna have to address his quarterback situation immediately. Dak Prescott to get him through this season. Maybe the next season, I doubt it, but he definitely will get him through this season. Dak Prescott numbers are not bad as far as just to start off. He's 92 throwing power. That's pretty much all you're looking for, awareness, throwing power. He's got some accuracy. Good enough to throw a pass. Thing is who do we got with him? He ain't got no backups for real. Quentin Ewers, he ain't gonna use him. He'll probably get rid of him at some point after the season. Danny Jones he just ain't happening. So he gonna have to address his quarterback situation immediately. And as I go through his team, his running back situation is the same as his quarterback situation. Gonna have to address it immediately. Looking at his wide receivers, same thing. You got this 33-year-old wide receiver, 28, 29, 32. Wide receivers, when they get old, man, they ain't really a threat to your team no more. It ain't like defensive backs and defensive players. Like, defensive players could get old, but they could still be useful just by being smart and being in the right position. But these guys right here, along with Dak Prescott, I was looking at this offense, man, and I'm like, okay, what do he have? And I don't see anything on offense. I mean, today, yes, don't get me wrong. Today, this team is solid to get him through a season. But he going to have to address this entire offense. And you ain't going to be able to do all that with just one off season unless you just make a million trades and you draft 7 great players, which is almost impossible to do. But we'll see. But as far as his offense go, man, I gave his offense an F because I don't see anything on here that's going to ride with him and he going to be like, cool, I got him. I don't have to worry about it. He going to literally have to address his whole entire offense within this first and second season. So he's going to be building the offense for probably the entire release if he don't get it right. So I gave him an F for his offense. Defensively, we already saw what he did. So we saw him put this D-line together. We like the D-line. I think the D-line is perfect. I don't think nobody's going to disagree with me. Middle linebacker, he got a nice one. He got a nice middle linebacker sitting there in Zach Bond. You know, he'll be there probably 2-3 years at the most. You can get him to about 32 years old before you gotta like get rid of him. Sam and Will, nobody to really talk about. But that middle linebacker with them three linemen, with them three D linemen, I think that's a nice start for your defense as far as your front seven goes. You can't get everybody, but you got them three guys up front. You got that middle linebacker in the middle. That's a decent start. Then you get to the DBs. Now he got a cool defensive back. Like I said, a cool defensive back. Because the rest of these guys, like say, they just normals. You know, these guys are all going to be replaced immediately, like after this season is over. But he got a good free safety out here in Antoine Winfield. 28 years old, but he's short. That's his only problem. 5'9", he going to be getting jumped all over. But a guy like this, once you get him in the red zone, he going to be able to play his position the way he's supposed to play it. He might be getting like toasted and mossed in deep coverages, but once he get in that red zone, he gonna be playing that position. And then he also got Makuba, and I think a lot of people probably had this guy on his on their draft board. I definitely did. This guy is buildable. He's good. This is a guy that you should be starting somewhere, even if you want to move Antoine Winfield to cornerback and let this guy start as safety. Whatever you want to do, this guy should be starting somewhere because he's going to need them reps. You're going to want to build him up. Or you probably just put him at strong safety and not worry about these two guys, which I'm pretty sure that's what you probably did. This is probably your free and strong safety right here. And if that's the case, I would probably move him to strong safety. So as far as his defense go, I gave his defense a B+. I feel like he got guys. You can't fill up a defense. You can't just get everybody. But I feel like he got guys where they supposed to be in defense. And you can fill your gaps later on, but you probably won't be able to do it because you're going to be working on your offense most of the time. So his overall grade, honestly, I gave him a C overall because, I mean, I get it. You came in and you just drafted your three defensive linemen. But then after that, it's like, what else did you draft? We see Antoine Winfield. We do see a decent cornerback, but you just said, to hell with my offense. Like, I'll just make an offense work. But that, I mean, this defense is what it is. And we all know Madden, man. Defenses still get beat even if you got the best players over there. So to the fact that you ain't got no offense to keep that defense around, you know, I gave you a C. I want to see what you're going to do in all seasons, but I felt like you should have did a little more with your offense. All right, moving right along, man. We got the Detroit Lions. Some of the notable guys that they drafted, of course, as you see right here, Nick Bonito was their first pick of the draft, if I ain't mistaken. Yeah, that was their first pick of the draft. So another guy who started off with that defense, started off with a good pass rusher. They got him. They got cornerback A.J. Terrell. Everybody know about him, superstar, 27 years old. Pretty good. He'll be there for probably 4 or 5 years on the team, which is decent, man. Got good speed. He gonna be and then another guy that I like, man, that he got that I consider a notable guy is he got that Carter right here, man. This dude, a 22-year-old superstar already. You know he should be on his team for the entire release, unless you can get a rape job for him on some offensive players or some other players if you're just trying to make like a couple draft picks if you feel like your line good without him, whatever. But anyway, like Carter's a good guy. So them is notable guys, man. Let's see what his offense look like. He got Sam Darnold coming out the gate. Quarterback will probably be there with you for 2-3 years, but you probably want to address your quarterback situation. I'm pretty sure you don't want to just run with Sam Darnold without having nobody else. You should be probably drafting the quarterback next next season. Travis Etienne is a decent running back. You know, if you're a runner, if you choose to run the ball, he'll get you yards. He's fast, but you also got these guys who you probably can run with better than him. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't nobody got no ability, so they probably all run the same. So you probably better off just using your more speedier guy. This guy right here, 90 change of direction. You know what I'm saying? That's Marquise Brown. We already know who he is and where he should be, but hey, you got him at running back, 29 years old. Like I said, you probably gonna address that if you're a runner. If you're not a runner, I guess it don't even matter. You got the guys in there you need. As far as your wide receivers go, oh, that's a fullback. I'm about to say what happened. You got Jalen Waddle, who is fast. Christian Watson, who is fast. Dante Thornton Jr., who is 6'5" and fast. But you know, one thing about having a bunch of guys like this, they all fast, but none of these cats getting off the line. None of these cats are guys you could depend on. None of these cats are guys you say, fuck it, I'm gonna throw it to him. I think with these guys, you got a solid thing. I think you should trade one of them and get you one real wide receiver, that one go-to guy. You always need that one guy that you can say, all right, I need 4 yards and I need this slant route. I need this guy to get off the line, get into his slant route and catch it when I throw it to him. I don't think you have that in any of these guys, but you definitely got the speed. But I mean, speed can only do so much. If they ain't burning nobody, if somebody playing over the top, then what these guys out there for? They ain't really good route runners. They just fast. So, I mean, of course, everybody loved Dante Thornton. You know, everybody wanted him. And for some reason, he always end up coming in late. So that was a good see to know that he was there when he got there. But I will probably get rid of Waddle and try to get me a solid wide receiver to go along with him. And then you got yourself something, man. Overall, though, man, you know, just looking at your offense, looking at your tight ends, looking at your line, for some reason, like, y'all didn't grab no lineman, man. Nobody grabbed no offensive lineman. But for your offense, I gave your offense a C. The reason I gave a C is because I know you probably going to need a quarterback. And like I said, you don't have that. You got fast wide receivers, but you don't have that one guy that you could throw it to. But I still think it's a good offense to play with. I mean, if you can figure out the right scheme to use them guys and get them open, then I think you got a good thing going with the offense. I think it's average, though. I think you got an average offense. It ain't horrible. It's not bad. Let's get into your defense. Of course, we seen your defensive line. You know, we seen Carter and we seen Bonito, so ain't no need to talking about them. Let's get into your linebacker core. You got some solid guys at linebacker to me. These are guys that you use, or most people who use are their linebackers. You got some fast ones, you know, and Brooks and Queen, you know what I'm saying? Rodriguez, they all pretty fast. The guys that you can run around with, you know, Diablo. If you got good user and you can blitz with these guys, these guys you can come off the edge with, you can send through a gap. And they going to get there and they going to make a play. They not the best linebackers in the game, but you wouldn't be able to tell. These guys, you know, they all a little older. That's the only issue. You only going to get so many years out of them. But for the time being, I don't think your front seven is solid to me for the time being. DBs, you got, like we seen, we got Terrell, and you got this cat down here who I would probably start. You know, he young. You might as well get him in the mix now. He probably a star. You might as well get him up there and get him going, get him set up. Try your best to build him. 2 years down the line, you'll have 2 solid cornerbacks. I think you did a good job drafting your corners. The safeties are solid too. You know, a little older, but you got them. You know what I'm saying? You got guys back there. You probably want to address your safety situation. But I seen where your draft went. You went after some speedy wide receivers. You went after the D-line. You got fast linebacker. It just shows that you was really going for speed in here. And I ain't mad at you. I feel like you got the guys you wanted in your draft. Now, some people might say, oh, you ain't got him. You suck. You ain't get. But it looks to me like you wanted speed and you got speed. For your defense, I gave you an A. I like your defense. I like the guys you got. Of course, you're going to have gaps, but like I said, I like the guys you got. Overall, I think you got a team that you can build around. You got some veterans, you got some young guys, you got some speed. I think now you just need to add some solid guys that you can depend on, and you'll have you a solid squad. So as far as overall, I gave you an A for your draft. I gave you an A for your draft because your defense is solid, it's nice. Your offense, you went for speed, you got it. All you got to do is add a quarterback on your offense and maybe a wide receiver. But you look good, man. I like the squad. I like the squad. Now we got these Green Bay Packers, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I felt the type of way about this team, and I didn't even know who team it was. And then I realized who it was afterwards. So, like I said, I try not to know the teams because I don't want to be biased. I just look at the teams and I go with it. But this here, man, this was their first round pick. And when I say first round pick, I look for notable players. I couldn't even really find a notable player, like somebody that I could be like, oh, you got him, bet. Like this is a start to your franchise. Like to be the seventh pick overall, and this is the guy you went with right here, like the seventh pick overall, and you went after a quarterback that's got 93 speed, and that's it. I get it, he's young, but he's normal development, which is going to take you a little longer, to try to get him. And I know probably trying to go after last season, you think you got something, but this was horrible. This was a horrible pick. The draft, I don't know what he was going after, honestly. To me, I'm just gonna go the whole roster because going through it don't matter. When you look at a guy who couldn't even pull up an X Factor or a superstar out of his draft, and he had the seventh pick overall, but when you look at over here, it just looked like this what you was going after, the young guys. And if that's what you wanted for your team, that's great. I ain't mad at it, because this your draft, it's your team, it's what you wanted. It looked like you said, I'm gonna get all these young guys and I'm gonna develop them. So for the Packers, there's really nobody to go look at on his team. I do like his tight end. I'll say that I like Boston, tight end Boston. I do like him. Even though he a normal, he young, he 88 speed. You can make something work with the 88 speed tight end. I didn't really have too much more to see or say about him. He do got his 23-year-old 6'5" wide receiver with some speed right there, and Jeff Caldwell. He's 71 overall, normal though. So I don't know what he gonna do with him. Like I said, we could go through the team. Only thing I saw, he got Brees Hall. Brees Hall solid. His D-line is good. They buildable. Like I say, this whole team is buildable. It's like a project. Everybody's young. Everybody's a star, maybe hidden or normals. So he got a lot of building to do. It's a project. Truthfully, I gave him a D overall on this draft because I feel like for your position and what you could have got, like it's cool to grab a bunch of young guys. Don't get me wrong. It's cool to grab a bunch of young guys and build them up. I know you want a young team you can work with, but you also got to have some guys that make you competitive so you don't fall apart. You don't want to not, like these guys right here, they're not going to make plays right now. But if you had maybe an X Factor DN on that side to go along with like him and your D tackle, you know what I'm saying? Like looking at your cornerbacks, you got all these guys. They just some normal nobodies. They're going to be getting toasted out there. You're going to be mad because they ain't going to be breaking up no passes. They ain't going to be reacting to nothing. You don't have no leadership out there to say, all right, at least you should at least have two cold-ass safeties. That way, when your cornerbacks fuck up, you got them. So I ain't going to even get deep into it. I seen what he tried to do. I gave him a D overall because I just feel like you didn't draft. Like all these guys, you didn't have to draft them. You could have just let the computer take them. But then again, I get it because the computer would have took all the older guys. So it looked like you just said, you know what? I ain't even set a draft board. And when my pick comes, I'm just going to see who young and I'm just going to draft them. And I think you messed up with that. But we're going to see. We're going to watch the Packers. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to come back on here and tell them, hey, I fucked up. You did your thing. But you got a lot of work, man. And this team looks bad, man. It's young. And you got a lot of building to do, man. You got a lot of building to do. All right, and last but not least, man, we're gonna pull up these Vikings, man. So let's talk about some of the notable guys that they got, man. They number one draft pick, if I ain't mistaken. Yeah, the Vikings number one draft pick was Worthy. They picked him first. They said we coming out with this fast motherfucker, fastest dude on the game, and that's what normally he's a guy that people would pick. So you got Worthy, man. You matching him up with C.J. Stroud. I like that. I like that matchup, that quarterback wide receiver tandem right there. And another notable guy they got, man, is Trayvon Walker, man. Good superstar, young guy, DN. So that's solid, man. You got you a good DN, you got your quarterback, got your wide receiver, get a little something on both sides of the ball to go along with it. I like how you started out, man. Let's look at your team. We already know it's quarterback C.J. Stroud, 24 years old. You try to build him up, man, and you have your quarterback for the whole release. And that's pretty much what you want, man. You don't want to have to draft certain shit. When you draft and now you want to be able to get guys that you know good enough that you got them. You ain't got to worry about your quarterback position. You worry about your running back position if you choose to be a runner. If not, I mean, you can have these guys to get you a couple yards here and there, but if you probably have to address that running back position. All right? And then it looks like, like everybody do, they try to go after some speed at wide receiver. You got Xavier Worthy. You don't really need that much speed. You always just need that one dependable guy, that one fast guy, and then a decent slot, man, with like 94, 95 speed. Somebody that could just burn a nickelback or something. You want a little, but it's cool. You pulled up Tyreek Hill. He ain't the old Tyreek Hill, so we don't really know how he going to be on this game. He ain't even a superstar no more. So you got two guys. One of them you're going to have to build up to be able to get off that line. Worthy fast is cool. But if you can't get him open downfield, I don't know what he could do running them slants and running them crossing routes. Got this 6'4" guy right here though, and Higgins. So if you build him up, I would start him over Hill. I put Hill in the slot. I had Higgins out there trying to get some work. He's 6'4", man. He's 23. You could work with him throughout the whole season. Now, you might make something happen with him. I like your wide receiver core, though. These two guys right here, that's your number one and number two right there for the whole release. Build them guys up. I really like that tandem right there you got. With C.J. Stroud, like you say, you ain't got no running back, but you might not run the ball. Then look what you got right here. Oscar Delp, hidden guy, probably a star already, 88 speed, 23. Your offense to me, I can't say nothing bad about this Vikings offense, man. When you look at what you got, as far as them, like your pieces, your what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of what I'm trying to say right now. But anyway, your weapons. Yeah, your weapons. You got a solid core right there, man. Like I said, a lot of guys didn't go after offensive line. A lot of them just got a solid, just average offensive line. But when it comes down to it, I gave your offense a B+. The reason I gave it a B+, because you ain't got no running back, you ain't got no line. You know what I'm saying? But you do got some young buildable guys, man, and I think you can work with them. I like your offense, man. A- B+, man, that's a solid offense. Let's talk about your defense, though. That defensive line, we already seen it. You got these two guys right here ready to go. Two young guys. One of them a superstar. One of them can be a superstar. You got your DNs. So that's a start. Let's get into your linebacking core, which I think you need to give some attention to coming up in the draft, or even maybe some trades or something. Because your linebackers, I don't see too much. I know you got this little 21-year-old 88 speed guy, but he ain't finna do nothing. He ain't gonna do too much. You might as well get rid of him. But I see what everybody do. Everybody go after the speed. They try to get some linebackers with some speed, trying to do work. But if your scheme ain't right, ain't no point in having these guys, because they're gonna be out there in coverage, and they're gonna be the type of guys that's gonna fall for play actions when they blitzing. They gonna run in and get blocked. They ain't gonna be able to get off a block, so they blitzing ain't gonna work, and they just gonna be a waste of time. Your DBs, I'll say this, man. Your DBs are just, they fast. I don't know if you're a good user or not with it. If you're a good user, then your DBs ain't bad, because most of the time you just going to have them out there in coverage, and then when the quarterback throw the ball, you're going to have to take over and see if you can and make plays with them. You got speed, so that's the start. You know what I'm saying? 94 speed, 95 speed, so you can run with some guys. You know, you got if they sending guys deep, you got cornerbacks that can run with them. It's gonna be your job to take over them DBs though and make plays. So when you got these guys, which is solid to me, you got good DBs. Like I said, I don't think you got a bad DB core, but they definitely gonna need some help out there. So you're gonna have to use your user and a good scheme, put them guys in the right positions, and you can make plays with them, man. I think you did pretty good in your defense. You just need to get you some linebackers. Probably get you one good solid middle linebacker, and you good. I gave your defense a B. You know, like I said, your DBs are average, you know, but you can make them work. This guy, you know, he gonna roll with you for about 2 years, and he gonna slow down a little bit, but he's superstar. We gonna see if as long as he don't regress. So the Vikings, man, I like their draft. I think they did what they could. You know, you can't draft everybody, which is a good thing. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna say it's a good thing, but it's good to be able to grab guys that you want and then grab pieces in between. You're gonna have a hole or two, but I like what you did, man. I like the Vikings, man. I gave them a B for their draft. I think they did pretty good. You know, maybe even an A minus. You know, I gave them a B, but it's a solid draft, man. We're gonna see what this division look like.